Hi everybody, this is Sam. Thank you so much for liking my videos and sharing them. I'm sorry I couldn't put up a video last week, but here I am again. This week I'm going to be talking about something that all of us have gone through, and it's never an easy time for us, but we all have to do it at one point or another in our life. It's about knowing when to walk away from somebody you love. Now, it could be a friend, it could be a spouse, or even sometimes your children if the going gets tough. But we all need to know when is the right time to walk away and how to do it. So today I'm going to talk about, first of all, when you think you might have to put a stop to a relationship. So the very first thing that you should know, or one of the signs of when you should know that this is not a very healthy relationship going on with whoever it might be, is when you're being disrespected. We all deserve to be given respect, and at any time, any place. And yes, sometimes things get out of hand, but overall you should feel like you're being respected. Second of all, we should all feel like we're being valued, not being used or taken advantage of. That's the worst situation you would be in when you're being taken advantage of, because just being used for what you are offering as your skill or materialistically, whatever it might be, but you as a person are not being valued, which is not a very healthy relationship. Another thing that also ties into all of this is when you're the only one who's compromising and not the other person. Now, every relationship, no matter what kind of relationship it is, it all involves more than one person. So there's going to be differences between the two of you. So there's always going to be compromise needed. And if you're the only one who's compromising, then there's something wrong with that relationship. So just try to make sure that, yes, you're not the only one compromising, or not compromising all the time. I mean, a little bit goes on all the time. The next thing is that when you're in a relationship with somebody, or you love somebody, and they're not returning that favor by not valuing your privacy, not keeping your confidence or your secret, something that you shared with them, or humiliating you in front of others or publicly, and that is not something that is normal in a healthy relationship. So those are the things that should be big red flags for you when you have somebody disrespecting you, taking advantage of you, not keeping respecting your privacy, not keeping in confidence what you told them, and public humiliation, and just in the end of the day, abuse. That should never ever be okay at any point, specifically physical abuse. Even a little bit of pushing or shoving or any of that stuff is not okay. I can't stress enough how important it is for people, especially women, to understand that it's not okay for somebody to do that to you, because it starts off as a little bit, it becomes a habit, and it just builds up. Trust me, those are really, really bad signs if it gets to physical, even verbal abuse, because verbal abuse leads to physical abuse. So never ever put up with that. Those should be big red flags for you when you see any of that. And it happens not just to women, it could happen to men as well. I've seen a lot of examples of men being abused by women. So always keep an eye out for all of these things. Now, the things that I listed out right now, not just, you shouldn't just see it once and be like, that's it, it's over. No, these are something you as a person need to understand, how much everybody has a different tolerance level, and each individual has their own, and your own. So you kind of measure up and see, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and if it adds up to too much and you can't take it anymore, you should sit down your partner and let them know. And if not, then you know that you have a decision to make, that this is not something that you should be a part of, and you should make it known to the other person. So that brings me to the next part, and that is how to walk away. To walk away, you need to, first of all, be honest with yourself and that partner of yours that this is not working out. You need to let them know, have an open dialogue, and just lay it out on the table. And then after that point, the best thing to be able to walk away from somebody you love is to simply, because you can't you tried your best to be with them and it didn't work out. You communicated to them, you gave them enough chance, it didn't work out. So what do? You have to walk away from that person. You have to break contact as much as you can. If it's a clean break, that would be the best way to go about it, because it makes it easier to move on with life after that point. But if not, try your best to separate yourself from that person as much as you can. Not be, in similar places as them. Try not to get involved in conversing with them after a while at least, because unless they're okay with you being friends after that and just keeping a distance, even then it's just not easy. At least not in the beginning. It will not be easy. So I would always suggest trying to take a break from it all, clean break it off, no contact, and in your own home environment, if you have shared photos or something like that, try to put them away, get rid of them, because that would not be easy to look at. It's actually rather painful, and so you want the least reminders of that person around as possible. So those are some of the ways to get rid of it. If you were living together or something, then any furniture, try to get rid of those small things that might remind you, things that remind you of the other person. Try to get rid of that, replace it with something else. And when you're breaking away from some kind of relationship, you're not really emotionally stable and you want some things to keep you happy. So try to take up a new hobby, stay busy, stay positive, and while you're getting rid of some old stuff, you can replace it by doing some retail therapy sometimes, going shopping for new furniture or just a new wardrobe, just to kind of make yourself a new person again. By a little bit of an outer change sometimes helps as well. So try that out, and maybe try to have new friends and go out a little bit more out of your way from what you were used to. Break your routine, try something different, new hobbies, just to explore yourself as a person away from the one you're trying to break away from. And overall, in the end of the day, we all know the one thing that we need to always concentrate on is to stay happy, stay positive. Yes, you were in a relationship with some person for a long time. You loved them very, very much. But in the end of the day, they didn't love you back the way you needed them to. So you walk away from them, but always remember that whether it was good or bad, even a bad relationship, you learn a lot from everything in life. I had a really bad relationship in life, and I learned a lot from it. I used to think the world was a nice, rosy place, the way I felt, I looked at people, the way I was honest with people, I expected the same back from them because that's the way I was. But unfortunately, that's not the way it is. And so that was my life lesson that I learned, that you can't trust everybody. You can't expect them to be like you. That's not easy, but it's something I learned from my life, and I came out a better person for it, because now I expect less from people. I don't trust anybody openly, but at the same time, just because you can't trust everybody, but you have to be open, you have to be fair. Just because you can't trust them does not mean you have a negative attitude against them. No, you just be open to who they are, give them a chance. So those are the things that you learn from relationships as well throughout your life. And just in the end of it, just want to remind you to stay happy, stay positive. People will come and go from your life, and that's just the way life is. That's the way the circle of life is, and you learn a little bit of something from everybody. You'll cherish the good of everybody, if not the bad. We can't cherish everything, but becomes a part of us. Each person that comes in through our life and goes out, it becomes a part of us. They become a part of us, and it makes us who we are, whether the good or the bad. And always try to remember that even if a relationship didn't work out, that you still learned a lot from that person. There were some good times, and just remember those and try to downplay the negative ones and just move on with life. And there will be more. There's always more people in life. The world is full of them. So just remember that if one door is closed, another one will open. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Like it, share it. Please subscribe to the channel below right here. And I'll see you next time. Bye.